some seminar, I think seminars on graduate research and education for sustainable development. It is also a great privilege for us, the School of Liberal Arts, STOU, especially for the doctoral students and for the faculty members and all other two professors from another library school in Bangkok. It's a bit, I also would like to convey my sincere thanks to Professor Mitsuhiro Oda for spending his time with us today. I think please make it informal so that he can share his experience focusing on the experience of Japan, and also we can discuss any problem, any issues that you are interested in with Professor Oda. So I think this is a good time for that. Thank you for everybody for coming, and last but not least, thank you Professor Mitsuhiro Oda for coming to join us. He also one of our guest professor for the doctoral degree program. Thank you, Professor.
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Thank you for Chitima. And I would like to talk about the graduate research and education for sustainable development, especially and focusing on the library and the information studies. And the well, oh, yeah. Photographs left side is my university. I came from Japan, and I belong to Aoyama Gakuin University. And precisely, I belong to the Department of Education. And the programs of Library and Information Studies is under the Department of Education. And because in Japan, library and information studies is focusing on educating public librarians. So public library is under control of the local authority and Ministry of Education. So that is the reason why the library and the information studies is in the Department of Education. It's a normal structure and construction in Japan. That is a typical one, I think. And center of the character called ego. Ego is ego, and the bird. And he has a Bible because my university is a mission school, and for Protestant section of the Christianity, and well, the other two photographs copied and from the homepage of the internet and stores the internet. Is it copy left or copyright? Copy left? Well, today, the purpose of this talk to discuss the significance and the role of the research activities by graduate students. That means both master's students and doctoral students. In this talk, I would tell you my opinion, views, and experience in order for you having concrete images and recognition toward graduate research, I think. And I would also show a policy and the strategy of the Graduate School of Education, Psychology, and Human Studies, Aoyama Gakuin Universities. That college started 2 years ago, and this year, the 3rd year, and it's a new faculty we made. that is as a case of the changes about relations between research and education for these several years. First of all, I would like to ask you one basic question for discussion. That is a graduate school an institute for education, or is it an organization for research? How do you think? How does this considered in Thailand?
And our doctoral students answer the questions. Anybody?
It's a graduate school and institute for education and organization for research.
Both? Both.
Give your reasons.
Some students have to study
Mm-hmm.
another field because the graduate students have to do the research or graduate master or doctorate degree. Both are important.
Okay. Yeah, your views is right. I think so. But the construction is not so simple, I think. And education and the research, the relation of the education and the research is so complicated. Okay. And any other students?
Mahanakon University. I graduated from here.
Mm-hmm.
Student graduate from master degree and doctoral.
Mm-hmm.
Call me researcher.
No
student.
No student. Researcher.
Student as researcher.
Student in Mahanakon University ต้องตี
Non-published.
ไม่ใช่การ
public 3 short paper and 1 full paper.
Mm-hmm.
Difficult.
This
reason I want to learn Thai University.
because you study and
Yes. That means that the situation is in this university or in general Thailand.
I think in general.
In general.
In general. For me, is I do agree with Dr. Pramon. I think it's both because of the some university they have the plan like a plan in Thailand we use alphabets. Ko is like A B. It's plan A, plan B. It's plan A is mean you have to do the research both with the coursework and plan B is you just jump into the research. And for me it's kind of the to just that is which one is quite difficult. It's quite hard. It depends on the context. Its context in Thailand is like this.
I see.
How about
Yeah.
Japan?
Later. Okay. Yeah. ขอบคุณครับ Wow.
I think we have to use both, but when we talk about graduate students, especially PhD students, research is quite important because in Thailand, PhD students should publish their new findings in international peer-reviewed journals, and that's why we have to do research. But when we talk about education, it means that the new finding that we have from the research and used to teach the student.
Yes.
It's like it's become both, but when teach or to learn had to come from research.
You mentioned that two things I feel, and because in the master's programs and the doctoral programs, and what is the difference of the master's programs and the doctoral programs? And
Master program, in my opinion, is I try to learn how to do research. But for PhD student, we have to find something new or something for the country.
Yeah.
Not only do the research.
Yes, very nice. Yeah, okay. Okay. It is not so easy at all to show a unique answer and to this, because there is a various types of graduate school in the world and in Japan also. And unless we make a precise definition of education, what is the education? Education of what? Education for what? And research. And we have to allow a wide of answers. Sometimes both. Sometimes anywhere, education or research. It might be difficult to have a common image toward graduate school. There are large diversities about types of graduate school, and graduate schools differ according to academic fields, academic subject, educational system of the countries. And each country has each unique system of higher education. And for example, in Japan, and higher education is normally 4 years. And the master's programs are 2 years, and the doctoral programs more than 3 years. More than 3 years, and basically 3. Yes, but in the UK, United Kingdom, and many of the European countries, and the bachelor's program, undergraduate programs are 3 years, and the master's program is 1, and most of master's students write the master's thesis, master's dissertations, and after studying 1 year, and so it takes them to 1.5 years or 2 years. And used to be, and in the library and the information studies, and the United Kingdom library schools of United Kingdom adopt the sandwich programs. Have you heard the sandwich programs? Sandwich is a bread contents and bread. That was, yeah. Have you heard? No.
I never, but I just guessing this is continuous study, maybe bachelor, continue master and PhD. If you get honor on the bachelor degree, something like that, or master, continue with the PhD. After finish the thesis.
Right. That is a good, yeah. That's a good imagination, but that is slightly different.
They guess from
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, that is study, placement, and study.
Yeah.
That is a construction of the sandwich, and study in the universities, schools, and the placement and the practical work in the library or informational institution, and they come back to the university and study much more. That is sandwich programs. That was held in the master's programs, and about 20 years ago, not now, 20 years ago. So students spend more than 2 years to obtain the master's degree in the library and information studies in the UK.
So it means they have to refresh after they graduate for 10 years or something. Refresh.
No, not the refreshment. And they begin to study in the first year and in the universities, and the next year, and half of the next year, they goes to any libraries and run the practical activities in the libraries. The very experience is in the programs. And after the half-year practices, and they come back to the universities and study much more. So that is one of the evidence of the graduate schools are different types of the graduate school. It's such a kind of studying is in the medical science and in Japan. And in Japan, to get the license of doctors, medical doctor, and they spent 6 years. 6 years. And among the 6 years, they have to go to any hospitals and in order to make their experience of the eggs of the doctor, as an egg of the doctor.
I also that some just get PhD candidate. So what does it mean? If they don't get PhD,
no.
They get only PhD candidate. So what does it mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. And the case of the medical science is in undergraduate level, not in the doctoral programs. Doctoral program is also the 3 years in the medical science in Japan, and the 2 years and the 3 years. And so most of the students in the medical sciences learned more than 11 years, undergraduate 6 years, undergraduate 2 years, master's program, and 3 years. A long way. Okay, and another elements which graduate schools has the diversity is the purpose on the objectives of the school and universities. And the relation to the vocational professional education is related to the diversity of the graduate school. And some graduate schools has the purpose of to educating and for education and research for the philosophical study, philosophical learning. But vocational and professional education is practical. So the characters very, very different in graduate schools. Yep. Okay. Well, there are traditional graduate schools based on academicism in the world. In the other hand, there are professional schools in graduate level of higher and further educational system, whose purpose is to educate students to become a professional, sometimes to obtain a qualification of the profession or some vocational license. Library and information studies are one of the example. Other types of fields are law school, medical schools, and the school for accountant, and the school for teacher education, etc., and have the same characters. And how is the such kind of schools in Thailand? Professional education in the graduate level. Which subject is? How is the librarians undergraduate level or graduate level? Mm-hmm. Program. Mm-hmm.
For the master degree, you have to study process
Mm-hmm.
before you allow them to do research.
Mm-hmm.
And for the master degree, there are two types. For PhD, I mean, both study coursework first before doing research.
Mm-hmm.
And some might choose, I think Hokkien University has the choice for those to do research
Mm-hmm.
without doing any
เขาบอก
coursework.
เขาอยากใช้ไม้ถ้าจะพูดเพราะว่าแหล่งตรงนั้นก็มีอันนี้คือเวลาเนี่ยถ้าใครจะพูดนะไม่ใช้ไม้เขาบอกอย่างนั้น
Yeah, so is to answer your question?
Yes. Yes, please. Again.
For the master degree, we
Mhm.
have to study the coursework first
Mhm.
before the student can do
Mhm.
their research.
Mm-hmm.
Because that the compulsory course is every university
Mm.
require. But for PhD program, we have both.
Mm-hmm.
One is doing coursework
Mm-hmm.
and then go for research.
Mhm.
Another one just go for research
Mhm. Mhm.
without study any coursework.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. And in Japan, and the qualification of librarians and precisely public librarians is educated in undergraduate levels. Hmm. And in the United States and Canada and in any other, most of other countries, and professional education is in the graduate schools. But United Kingdom, and both undergraduate and master's levels, the opportunity, they give the opportunities to students to gain the qualification of the library and the information professionals. How about in Thailand?
the same.
Same
We have
undergraduate
and
level. Mm-hmm.
graduate
Mm-hmm.
students.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because we have major. We call, for graduate students, we call major. They
Mhm.
have to major,
Mhm.
take major.
Mhm. So thinking about this, and what is the role of the graduate school of library and information studies? In the United States, the graduate schools and especially master's programs is professional education. But, however, and in Thailand and in Japan, the graduate school of library and information studies are not professional school. Hmm. Yeah. I will give you the various materials and the information for discussion. Okay.
In my
Mhm.
opinion,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
in my I am quite not speak English. I'm sorry. In my opinion, I think that I agreement of program of graduate schools because after I graduate from doctoral, I work not in I work คือไม่ได้ทำงานเกี่ยวข้องโดยตรงเกี่ยวกับทางด้านวิจัยครับผมถ้ายังไงรบกวนช่วยแปลให้ได้
Mr. Prasan, you as the chair of the you are very good in English. Okay, however, he tried to show his idea. That's very good. Don't worry. Okay. That's good. That's good. What is very good. You can try.
ก็คือถ้าผมจบมาเนี่ยก็คืออาจจะไม่ได้ทำงานทางด้านวิจัยโดยตรงผมเป็นนักวิชาการคอมพิวเตอร์ผมจะทำงานเกี่ยวกับเรื่องการบริหารงานคอมพิวเตอร์แล้วก็เรื่องของเทคนิคเชียนต่างๆที่อยู่ในห้องเซิร์ฟเวอร์ทีนี้ถ้าหากว่าผมจะเปลี่ยนขั้วจากการที่จะมาทำงานเฉพาะตรงนี้เนี่ยผมอาจจะไปเปลี่ยนขั้วการทำงานไปเป็นวิจัยทางด้านคอมพิวเตอร์โดยตรงก็ได้ซึ่งที่ศูนย์ไอทีนี้ยังไม่มีตำแหน่งนี้โดยตรงนะครับที่ทำก็มีทั่วไปก็คือเน็ตเวิร์กเว็บดัตต้าเบสนะครับผมแต่ไอสิ่งเหล่านี้เนี่ยมันจะดีขึ้นได้ต้องเกิดจากการวิจัยครับเมื่อมีการวิจัยแล้วผลงานวิจัยที่ดีออกมาก็นำผลงานวิจัยนั้นนำมาพัฒนางานทางด้านเน็ตเวิร์กด้านเว็บแล้วก็ดัตต้าเบสเพื่อที่จะพัฒนางานให้ดีขึ้นได้ครับผมก็เลยเห็นด้วยกับโปรแกรมพวกนี้ครับเพราะว่าพวกผมบางคนที่จบมาเนี่ยส่วนใหญ่ด็อกเตอร์เนี่ยจะต้องทำวิจัยกันทุกคนแต่อย่างผมเนี่ยถ้าจบมาเนี่ยอาจจะไม่ได้เป็นนักวิจัยก็ได้แต่ถ้าอยากเป็นนักวิจัยเต็มตัวเนี่ยโปรแกรมพวกนี้น่าสนใจมาก
He tried to say that is the in Thailand is quite we not say that the bachelor master going to be professional school, but for him he came from the technical school, some kind of the like information technology, but he plans to change himself and put himself to the fields of information science and do more research and use the background and develop the another research. This is the some kind of the like application. Okay.
Yes, right. I see.
Is it right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good opinion. Yes.
I never been the translator before.
Well.
We have position.
Yes.
So that position is that position we call information like some kind of librarian.
Yes.
We have that position, but some students they do not work as or they do not have position as librarian.
Yes.
So after they graduate,
Yes.
they have to move to or to change their position.
Yes.
So that way just mentioned.
Right. I see. Well, yeah. Okay. Well. Okay, I will continue. And moreover, certain graduate schools provide master's programs, but some have both master's and PhD programs. And what is the difference of two programs next? And is the difference of level, nature, or purpose? And what is the difference of the master's programs and the doctoral programs? And of course, the level of PhD programs is much higher than master's program should be. However, the role and function of both programs are same, aren't they? In the United Kingdom, and we know the students of master's programs are often called graduate students, just graduate students. And in the other hand, those of PhD programs are called research students. That is, he talked that students in the graduate schools are called researcher it is similar in the Thailand. No. 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 And
Some university like or
technologies that specialize in IT and engineering. So that's what he said, that they call their student researchers. But it doesn't happen in every university. Some university they concentrate on research.
That means the doctoral students called the researcher.
Other research, other PhD and master students.
จะไม่สนใจในเรื่องของทางทฤษฎีมากส่วนใหญ่จะรับคนที่แบบว่ามีประสบการณ์ทางด้านผ่านมาทางด้านวิจัยบ้างพอมาถึงปุ๊บก็ลุยวิจัยเลยเวิร์คคอร์สจะมีนิดเดียวแล้วคือเขาจะไม่สนใจเวิร์คคอร์สมากเขาจะไม่คอร์สเวิร์คเขาจะไม่ใช่ว่าไม่สนใจมากครับแต่มีระดับเรียนเพื่อให้จบไอ้ตรงนี้เขาช่วยกันได้แต่สิ่งที่สำคัญที่สุดสำหรับมหาวิทยาลัยเทคโนโลยีมหานครคือการทำวิจัย
แล้วที่เมื่อกี้บอกเรียน researcher เรื่องสารเนี่ยเรียน
คือมันเป็นแนวความคิดของทางมหาวิทยาลัยว่าเป็นปริญญาโท
ไม่เกี่ยวนะโทไม่เกี่ยว
เฉพาะปริญญาเอกครับผมเขาพยายามผลักดันให้จะเรียกนักศึกษาให้นักศึกษาตัวเองว่าเป็นนักวิจัยแต่ไม่ใช่ผู้ช่วยนักวิจัยด้วยนะครับเขาจะให้ทำด้วยตัวเขาเอง
แต่ถ้าปริญญาโทก็อย่างนี้นะ
ปริญญาโทยังเป็นนักศึกษาอยู่ครับ
Thank you. So it's the same as what you said, that for the master student or graduate student, for the PhD student or research student.
Yes. Okay. This situation makes us to imagine that there should be any reason and background behind other than the level itself. Not the level, but anything, nature or between the master's programs and the doctoral programs. Not the level. Because master's programs, students of the master's programs are called graduate students. Yes. And the Dr. PhD are research students. That is not the level. I think it is any kind of elements or nature or characteristics behind the naming. Well, as an answer to the question above, some people think primary function in graduate school of education. Some understand that the graduate school should provide opportunity for research to not only professors but also students themselves. And it is possible to answer both. Also, we could answer the educational function is provided for students in master's programs of graduate schools, but that for PhD students, graduate schools should play a role of research institutions. And here, I would try to introduce and show you a brief review of graduate schools in Japan, based on my experience as a graduate student and a faculty member of university. I wish this is helpful for you to think deeply about the role of education and research in graduate schools. Now in Japan, a lot of graduate schools face the necessity of changes and renovation in order to gather students with high quality and potential ability to study for the survival of the university. So urgently needed the renovation of curriculum and programs, the changes of consciousness of the people in university, increase of the academic products by professors in order for winning the competition. Since 1990s, undergraduate programs have been changed year by year, and in my view, current focus is on the change of graduate school. It is between the latter half of 1970s and up to the middle of 1980s that I received higher education. A quarter of a century has already passed since I became a university teacher in 1986. In 1970s and 1980s, a Japanese society was completely revived well by World War II, and the progress of democratization and economic development had been remarkable. However, the ratio of the people who go to the university and higher educational institution was just reached 15%. 15%, very low than now.
I would like you to please clarify more about the reason why it is the low ratio of higher education students. Because I think that in the Thai context, we have more graduate schools that are especially doctoral programs. I wonder what is the reason behind this. Could you please clarify this in the context of Japan?
Context of Japan in 1970s and 1980s.
Why is that? Why?
And well.
About the economic crisis or anything like that? Do you think? Is there any reason about that? But now it's better.
Yes.
But
Now it's more than 50%. 50% of the people want to go to the university. And so 1970s, that was just after the high development of the economy in Japan. So many people do not have the consciousness of entering the universities, and after finishing the high schools, they get good jobs. They get the good jobs. Yes. So a lot of people think that university is the elite educational system in the in Japanese society. So the sort of view to higher education is almost same as in the older age before the World War II. And the society and the economy and the democratization was renewed after the World War II, but the consciousness and the educational system is already still older one in 1970s. So a lot of people think that university students of the bachelor's programs make their own research project, as well as learning in lectures and seminars. Bachelor programs is a high status, high level of the education in the universities. Well. No. Oh, okay. Undergraduate programs were thought of as this. How much more graduate programs were? Then the purpose of both master programs, sorry? Oh, really? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That is the right slide? Yes. Okay. I will tell you again. And undergraduate programs were thought of as this. How much more graduate programs are? Then the purpose of both master's programs and the PhD programs were to train qualified researchers. Research was a very basic mission of the graduate school, and to become a university teacher as a researcher after finishing programs was a final objective of students in the graduate school. I myself also enjoyed this sort of life in the graduate school. At that time, all national universities, a part of universities settled by local governments, and some famous private universities had set up their graduate schools. However, it was not few at the greater part of private universities that they offered just undergraduate programs. Interestingly, the image of the teacher of such universities was talked as an educator, not as a researcher, unless more of them finished graduate school programs. In 1980s, signs of necessity of changes in university were already apparent. The ratio of the people to have hope of receiving a higher education had been grown steadily. In addition to this tendency, the national government turned greatly its policy of higher education. Till then, the installation of the university was strictly restricted under standards for establishment of universities. However, by the amendment of standards in 1990, the installation has been greatly eased. As a result, a new one after another university came into existence, and the number of universities reached about 780 in 2010, last year. 780 universities are in Japan. How many universities are there in Thailand? A lot. Hundreds universities, more than hundreds. Do you feel that number is big or small, large and small?
So that in the past we have only the state university. Now today we include the Rajapat university is come from teacher college because from every province that's why come up with hundreds within a few years I think. That's great. A lot of universities to study.
It depends on the fields.
Emphasizing a bachelor degree, you will have opportunity to go to the university.
How do you think?
If they cannot go to the state university, they can go to the private university.
Yes.
And also the open university like Ram Kamheng University and Sukhothai Thammathirat University also give the opportunities for them to choose what they want to study. Before that, we don't have much choice in our own time. Just study what we can be accepted in the state university. So I think that's the change now, and I think it's enough. I think the university, the number of universities is enough for Thai students. nowadays.
Yes, yeah. And
Thailand we separate the type of university. Some university becomes research university.
yes,
Research
We divided.
divided, and some university focus in bachelor degree, and some I cannot remember. Like comprehensive university, like emphasize teaching only, some research only. So they divided into 4 groups.
yes, right. I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the point is the balance of the opportunities for students and competition or survival and the management of the universities, because around 500 universities are private. So management and to gather the money, and of course that at first gather the student and the money is important. And so opportunities and high quality education and opportunities and management, sometimes related, sometimes paradoxical trends. So if we gather a lot of students, much more and more students, and management is stable, and we don't have the risk of the manager program, but the quality will be down. So the unique strategy of the development is the change and renovation of the curriculum and the programs, and for the survival. It's one of the answer. Maybe it's in my university. Well, such increase of the number was directly influenced the management and the finances of the university. And because around 500 universities are private. And so monies, partly monies come from the government, and mostly the monies comes from the students, precisely students' parents. Well, and a lot of universities make any strategic change for survival and competition. One of the strategies in national university is to attach greater importance of graduate programs than to undergraduate programs. They think of the quality is important, and another chance to develop in the society in Japan. And in private universities, and they insist on graduate programs as well as undergraduate programs. My university is one of them. Considering the change of University of Japan in 2 decades, I think that at least in master's programs, education should be important. And in PhD programs, to publish research product should be inevitable. This is my answer to the question, and first one, and is a graduate school an institute for education, or is it an organization for research? And the master program is for education, and the doctoral programs for research. However, I know well in Japan that not a few professors around me have the following classical or old-fashioned model toward the role of graduate school. That is, students must learn subject knowledge and skills in undergraduate level, And in master's programs, the competence as a researcher should be acquired. Lastly, accomplished highly advanced research in the result of PhD programs. I had also a similar image when I was a graduate student in 1970s and 1980s. But never now, I do not have such kind of images to the graduate schools. Actually, it is thought that this sort of university teachers biased recognition to the graduate school is an obstacle to get over in the time of survival. In 2009, and we reconstructed the college and graduate school of letter and made the college and graduate school of education, psychology, and human studies in my universities. In the process of setting a new faculty, every meeting time I had old-typed conservative opinion and sometimes battled their resistance for changes. In my opinion, the role of higher education has been transformed to this. At first, rhetorically saying, PhD programs might be a driver's license to drive as a researcher. It is just a certificate that he or she has basic competence of research. Next, and in master's program, graduate students should learn the competence of each academic subject basically. This means that we do not necessarily recognize these programs as one step of process to become a researcher. And in undergraduate programs, students expected to learn liberal arts as a wide range of intellectual world, including academic skills. As an answer to the question, I thought that in master's programs, the role and function of education should be important. However, I have to add much more explanation to this in order to avoid your misunderstanding. I have to tell you some examples of the education in master's programs in detail. Then, what shall students learn in the master programs of the graduate school? In order to discuss this, I think it important that we have to pay attention to research. That is, a core method of master's programs is to learn and acquire knowledge and skills of academic subject through the research activities. That means research activities is not objectives, but a method or strategy in the master's program, I think. The final objectives is to learn and acquire academic subject in master's levels. Lecture is a good method when we would a lot of knowledge to many students in short time. But students are often passive. They just hear a teacher's talk and take a memo, not think themselves. In this method, it is impossible to urge students to gain knowledge and skills critically, which lead to productive results, while research activities are a highly positive process. In other words, the educational activities is done for research, and at the same time, research activities is done for educating knowledge and skills of any academic field. I confess that the very process is the importance and significance of research activities in master's programs. In relation between research and education, the following expression might be also possible. Products of the research research accumulated in academic community are systematized, and it becomes educational contents in the education of undergraduate programs. The education based on products of research is done. On the contrary, in master programs, as a result of research activities, graduate students should be expected to acquire professional competence. And in PhD programs, their purpose is to produce something to contribute each academic community. Wow. How do you think about this conclusion or my opinion? And taking a short break.
It means that they just want to get higher position to become administrator
Yes.
or something like that at the first level. And for PhD, they just think that they get higher position to become the, because for doing the research, when we work, we have to get support from our institution, but sometimes that no money, or sometimes that they're very strict when we propose our research project. And the time that when we work, we do not have time to do the research. The same as me, because I just busy with working with preparing the course materials for our students or something like that. So I have no time to propose the research project. So I have no research project after I got PhD. Where I think I just working as assistant with Professor Dr. Shutiba, only one project after I graduated from yeah, that is the Thai situation.
Yes, okay. And you? Yes. But this is enemy of my home.
On the in Thailand, I think is we have some kinds of culture that's really difficult. That to suppose that you want to ask the teacher, you want to teach students, and then let them try to develop themselves by doing the research or whatever that is to develop themselves. The problem is outcome is not quite successful. You need more efforts, and then teacher have to push energy a lot to make sure that is everyone have the same outcome. And then for master degree is in the business, they're looking for something that is professional practitioner that can just after finish studying, they can do a good job. That's I think this is one of the challenge that I do agree with you that to push more research to develop the people, but it cannot apply to everyone in the country. This is what I thought.
Yes, okay, yeah. Yeah.
I got a bachelor degree. I think lecture is quite important for graduate students.
such as me, I graduate from medical student. The other field different from library science or information science. So I don't know about library science or information science before. When I study master degree or doctoral degree about information science, lecture is important for me. Okay. I can, but sometimes I cannot study by themselves. Almost, teachers quite guide me for read this book or this book, so or lecture me too. If I study by myself, or I think I cannot graduate master degree or doctoral degree.
You told that study oneself is the most important thing. Yes. Study yourself, study themselves, study myself, ourselves. Most important thing, you think?
Yes, it's important. But sometimes some opportunities we need teacher too.
Then and how do you promote such kind of study and learning? Study oneself?
Promote study by myself. Okay, I agree too. Like Sukhothai University, because I graduated from master degree from Sukhothai here. Almost I studied by myself. A few teachers teach me.
But actually, we teach by media,
Media.
To clarify that, otherwise they will think that you are lonely. Actually, we teach, but we teach by using media. The core media is printed material, and study guides, and also we provide like the CD-ROM and the e-learning, and also they can interact with us on the web board. Also, in addition to that, they can email to us. I mean, we use like Dr. Natif, she tried to use social media networking, but it's not only face-to-face is supplemented. However, we use various media because we are open university, we are distance education university, and now the university policies, they try to cut the face-to-face session and try to replace it with the e-learning. However, there is some problem, especially in my course like statistics, research and statistics. We find the problem. Sometimes we still have problems of interaction. The students need more, however, need more clarification for that. But I think that, however, the basis for all the doctoral students is lifelong learner, self-directed learners. That this is very important.
I think because our traditional as well, that we also we was taught that we have to follow the older. They give instruction and we believe them or follow. So that is the habit. So when we study, we need someone to just give our lecture or something like that. When we study by ourselves, so it's hard. Just only read, and especially for mathematics, we can't study. We need someone to explain step by step.
Yes.
So that is quite hard for some students to study by them.
Any other opinion?
No, I just want to know that for your perspective, that is how to deal with the situation like this. In case that you're going to try to promote the research for master and PhD, and if you get the same kind of challenge like this, what you going to do?
Okay, that is the later I told you.
Excuse me, please. I contribute concept from ประสาน and พมรจดเอาไว้ Some Thai company in the present one employee have certificates such as Microsoft, Cisco, Oracle, but some organizations don't have quality research such as SIPA, NECTEC, and Microsoft, Cisco, Oracle for researcher is not certified, so that it's possible to have researcher certificate or researcher in some organization because it's necessary for researcher ก็คือเดี๋ยวขอแปลภาษาอังกฤษไม่ได้ คือนิดนึงก็คือว่าในปัจจุบันเนี่ยประเทศไทยในปัจจุบันนี้นะครับประเทศไทยเนี่ยพอเวลาจะทำงานเนี่ยนอกจากจบปตรีปโทแล้วนอกจากนี้ยังจะต้องมีเซอร์ด้วยโดยเฉพาะทางด้านคอมนะครับเช่นเซอร์ซิสโก้เซอร์โอราเคิลนะครับเซอร์ Microsoft ตรงนี้สำคัญมากต่อการสมัครงานสำหรับบริษัทนะครับแต่บางที่อย่างเช่น NECTEC หรือว่าซิปป้าเนี่ยเขาจะมีนักวิจัยของเขาแต่ทีนี้เขาเด็กที่จบใหม่มาเนี่ยบางคนมันก็ตำแหน่งแรกของเขาก็คือเป็นผู้ช่วยนักวิจัยนะครับพวกนี้เขาเวลาทำงานเนี่ยเขาไม่ช่วงแรกๆอาจจะไม่มีประสบการณ์ในการทำวิจัยแต่ถ้าเป็นเด็กปโทนี่ยังพอมีอยู่นะครับยังพอมีอยู่แต่อาจจะไม่ลึกบ้างเขาก็ไปเรียนรู้เอาจากนักวิจัยที่อยู่ในนั้นอีกครั้งหนึ่งถ้าเด็กพวกนี้เนี่ยจบโทมาแล้วเขาก็ได้มาเรียนตัวนี้อีกทีหนึ่งนะครับเขาก็จะได้เซอร์เกี่ยวอาจจะได้นะครับในอนาคตนี่คือแนวความคิดของผมเขาอาจจะได้เซอร์ที่เกี่ยวกับการทำวิจัยถ้าเป็นปโทก็เนี่ยอย่างในนี้มันก็บอกว่าเป็นระดับเป็นระดับของปโทถ้าเป็นระดับปเอกก็เป็นไลเซนส์ระดับปเอกนะครับเป็นแอดวานซ์ระดับที่สูงขึ้นไปต่อไปไม่แน่คนที่จบคนที่จะเข้าไปทำงานซิปป้าหรือว่า NECTEC เนี่ยอาจจะต้องได้รับเซอร์นี้ก่อนแล้วค่อยถึงจะเป็นตัวที่เป็นตัวพิจารณาคุณสมบัติในการเข้ารับทำงานที่นี่ได้เหมือนกับคนที่จะเป็นผู้พิพากษาจะต้องจบเนติบัณฑิตครับผมขอบคุณครับคือสอบเอาครับสอบด้วยตนเองครับ
He just want to explain about the work environment. That is the after you for people who graduate master and is kind of the mixed field information science library and IT professional. For his perspective is the now when you go into the company and then company might require the more qualification and then that qualification is related to the some kind of the information technology that your product how to deal with that and in the future maybe is the by government or private sector might require that qualification is this kind of thing.
For IT person when they work in some organization they are two groups of people. One is research and the second is research assistant.
Yes.
You can pursue when you finish so that come out.
Okay.
Otherwise we cannot
Okay.
focus on what you are speaking.
Okay. Okay.
And if you got master degree, you will and go to work, you will get promotion to be as a research.
I see. Yeah. Okay. And obtain. In order to do this, I would like to use the frame of three aspects of competence. That is knowledge, skills, and attitude. Especially in this frame, I would insist the attitude in addition to knowledge and skills. And those are the examples of the knowledge and which graduate student should learn and obtain knowledge on research theme and topics. What theme do you make the research or study, and knowledge on research methods and the methodology? How do you make the research? And trust knowledge on writing and publishing academic paper that is related to the outcomes. Well, skills are there, and skills on collecting research data and materials, collecting documents and literatures, and skills on making a bibliography, and writing a reference and notes. Those are the basic skills. And lastly, their attitude to show the conclusion based on any evidence, attitude to evaluate and assess the existing remarks and discourses, attitude to confirm a background of data shown. Then, as to the competence shown above, what kind of educational practice are there in Japan? As an example, I would introduce you the curriculum of the Department of Education, the Graduate School of Education Psychology and the Human Studies in my university. This curriculum is extremely simple and consists of 3 groups of courses. That is basic courses, specialized courses, and research instruction. And those are the basic courses, those are mandatory for all students, for all graduate master's students, in order to obtain basic knowledge, skills, and attitude on the methodology of research in education field. That is pedagogy, we call. And there are 2 courses: research method, practices of education, and research method, literature of education. And in specialized courses, knowledge and skills about each research fields and the topics treated. Those are more than 20 courses in the curriculum of master's programs in the graduate schools in my department. There are very wide spread of the educational phenomenon. And the library and the information studies are one of the main part of this curriculum. And yes. Information management, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, end of the 6 lines, 6 lines, information management, information media, and related field is lifelong integrated education. Wow. Is there any other courses in library and information studies? No? Yes. And lastly, and research instruction itself is not courses. This is basically face-to-face support to students, including advice and coaching by their supervisors to provide at any time. And sometimes we use other medias and for instruction to the graduate student. Using the emails, or some teachers uses networking system, and in my department, unfortunately, we don't use e-conferences, not e-conferences, and that is the next next 3 or 4 years. And I would like to achieve such kind of system. In new curriculum, we insist on the basic courses. That is, we would like strongly to teach research methodology to students. The reason why we think this important is that research activities are constructed of basically what to do and how to do. Research method practice of education is a course to learn various methodology in the study of education. And the major of teacher in charge of this course is educational sociology or educational psychology. Another basic course is research method, literature of education, in which students how to collect data, information, and materials, as well as documents and literature in the study of education and related fields. Also, students learn how to make a bibliography and a list of references, how to write a citation note. The major of teacher in charge of this course is library and information studies, or history of education. In the history of education, in those fields, the materials are important, and so they treat how they use the materials in the research. At last, and at last I insist again, and the answer of your question, and importance and the necessity of research mind, the attitude, the core attitude, and which should be acquired, obtained in master's programs. It is inevitable to have for students if they continue to make their research activities in PhD programs. However, if they choose other vocation and profession than researcher, the competence could be much useful and efficient for them. With a research mind, the product of vocational work should have high quality. You could deal effectively with tense situations without any delay, and it is easy to communicate efficiently your opinions. Your saying and writing would be persuasive and convincing. And again, please see the attitude, core attitude, and to show the conclusion based on any evidence. And we teach these attitudes to students in the graduate schools through research activities. Not to say orally. Oh, this attitude is very important. We do not say. We just make the instruction and for the research and teaching academic subjects, knowledge and skills of the academic subject. That is deep educational matter, of the graduate school, I think. And also attitude to evaluate and assess existing remarks and discourses, and confirm a background of data shown. If a student show any data, you can try to find any other evidence to make the confirm this data. Just we say, and we don't say this attitude is important. We do not say. And the most important thing, and we think, or at least I think, is to make research sincerely. Well, the last line is one of the conclusions. The best way to get the research mind is to do sincerely your graduate research. Not to say. Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Choosing the research,
Mm-hmm.
the subject areas for research
Mm-hmm.
will depend on the student interest,
Mm-hmm.
or will depend on the professor expertise.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yes. Yes. Sincere. Right. Yes. Yes. That is important. And the professor himself or herself have the sincerity and of the research activities. And so in Japan, and graduate student, and to see the professors' activities, and so sometimes the proverb says the student see the teachers' teachers' activities. So to get the to do sincerely their research, and to show the professors himself or herself to do the research much more, I think.
It's more like the professor's expertise, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And open to the student.
Hmm?
Professor expertise and open to the student.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
But not to
This
say
is
not.
the way that to promote the research mind.
Mhm.
Says.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But in practical, it's quite difficult.
Yes.
I don't think it's quite easy. Even it's the way that is how the student can interact with the professor, with the advisor, and see things like that. And more obstacle is how to understand also what the professor, what the advisor have been done. It might be this is the lack of the knowledge that the student maybe cannot meet that point. That's why it requires another development. Is that right?
Yes, it's right. And sometimes we make the advice and the coaching and any comment to the student activities. And in addition to such kind of works, and teachers themselves make that research, and students learn the teacher's attitude by way of the outcomes and the products of their works. And the comments on the knowledge or skills are very easy to communicate, to tell the students. But the attitude is not so easy, and to orally. that is the core of educational matter in the, not only the graduate school, but also the elementary and the junior and the senior high school. And the study by oneself is one of the research mind, I think, to continue to study by myself, by oneself. In order to study by oneself, and we have the strong intention or motivation and sometimes self-intensiveness needed. So we set the self-intensiveness, and try to do, and that is the core educational matter.
And can you give example of the intensive activity that you said with your students?
Students.
Easier to understand, I think.
Well, one of self-intensiveness is self-satisfaction. Self-satisfaction is one of the intensiveness, I think. And so why do we and try to make the research? And in Japan, and people who, teachers who get the position of the professors, and if they do not make any research or not contribute to the academic fields, there's no penalty. No penalty. So very few teachers do not anything, nothing, but no penalty. But those teachers not a good model, of course. Then, and professors and the teachers in the universities control themselves by themselves. And so self-satisfaction and and to set the achievement. And this year, I would like to try to this project and make find any evidence and outcomes of the any fields, and promote, present, and write, publish thesis and the products, and those are the basically self-satisfaction. Of course, and evaluation and assessment is calm, and any I can contribute in the world, in the academic community, and but some people evaluate me, and but basically, and I get the self-satisfaction, I think. Self-satisfaction is not a good expression, I think. And if you have any much more good, better expression, and
in your country, if you are promoted to be professor, is there a nationwide regulations? In Thailand, there's a rule that for the promotion, it's not for self-satisfaction, but it's according to the rule or the Ministry of Education, to promote to be assistant professor, to associate, or to professor. There's a requirement for that you have to do. You have to have a research,
Yes.
class. If you are assistant professor, you have to have research plus articles or textbooks, yeah,
Mhm.
something like that. Before this time, the research is not included in this.
Mhm.
The research include only for the professor title.
Mhm.
But since about 5 years ago, yeah, the rules changed.
Mhm. Yes.
Because the Ministry of Education think that if you are teaching faculties at the
Mhm.
higher education level, you have to have research. You have to do research. Otherwise, you cannot advise your students. Yeah. But you know, after that, we have the problems because, as you know, most professors, most teaching faculties in Thailand, you know, they have teaching loads high. Many, I mean, they have to teach much, and they don't have time for research.
Mhm.
That's why that's the problem.